Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Techpoint Africa Podcast. My name is Emmanuel, and here in the studio with me, we have...
Femi.
And...
Chimgodrim.
Good. So how you guys doing?
Very well, thank you. November is over. The next time you'll be seeing us would be in December, the last month in 2023. Whoever saw that coming. The
year is almost running to an end, and I think we have one or two special things planned out for you before the year runs out. So just watch out for that. We're going to be getting nostalgic a little bit. So
a little bit.
Yes, a little bit. So okay, so today we're going to.
Wait, you not ask me how I'm doing.
Okay, how are you doing?
You're the one that spoke. I didn't speak.
Okay, so how are you doing?
Don't worry, let's move on.
All right, thank you. So, yeah. So, I use the word interesting a lot, but these stories are not interesting. They are compelling, and I would say the writer of the script for this podcast wanted to look for my trouble. So, but yeah, wait to the end to see what I'm talking about. Then number two, something's happening in the tech space, and if you're an employee of a tech company, you need to watch this podcast to the end to find out how you can protect yourself and your company from serious BC, serious debts or unnecessary money. So, but yeah, we're going to be starting with, we discussed this last 2 weeks, MTN looking to acquire 9Mobile.
9Mobile Spectrum.
9Mobile Spectrum, yes. And we're hearing the NCC wants to stop them from doing that. Or
They were asked.
Other
telcos are asking NCC that they should stop the deal.
Who are these other telcos?
Well, who they should come outside.
I mean, it's not like we have so many telcos.
So it's just two of them.
Mm-hmm.
It's just two. There are still telcos, Glow
and
Airtel.
Okay, what's on your mind?
I mean, if you're going to tell me not to do something, at least let your service be good enough.
You're not the judge of that. There are still stakeholders, major stakeholders in Nigeria's telecommunications.
What reason did they give?
Sector. I don't know.
I mean, I understand.
We saw it coming. We actually mentioned it when we discussed it 2 weeks ago that it's possible. And these people are the regulators. It's still left to them whether they're going to stop the deal or not. But I think the other telcos are in their own right to ask that because it's a monopoly knocking.
Huh.
I mean, to be fair, it's not a monopoly already.
No.
Well,
no.
It's not.
So how many
is competing on the data front? Then Glow, for all their faults, is still competing on the voice front.
Okay, so what percentage of the market does 9Mobile have for it to even be a monopoly?
Oh, so the fact that if they acquire this spectrum, it not only gives them the opportunity to acquire 9Mobile's customers, it also gives them the potential to have better network services for their customers, which might in turn...
Oh, you know that will not happen now.
I'm sorry,
You know
I want to
now.
correct something. It's actually not the telcos.
Okay.
Oh,
It's the
okay.
National Association of Telecommunication Subscribers.
Subscribers.
Yes.
So I didn't know we had
Operators.
association.
Not operators. Natcoms.
National Association of... Wait, this is the first time. Sorry, guys.
Yes.
This is a momentous occasion in the history of tech. I've never heard of an association of telecommunication subscribers.
Is it the people that have? Is it
Like
like
people like me and you, or what?
we need to actually know what they do. Please, can you open their?
yes,
let's open their website.
We are trying
Let's know who
to...
they.
Well, because they did not call you to come and be a part, Abi.
No,
Yes.
not that they didn't call me. Like, are they not supposed to be doing like canvassing for members like us? So if you want to do like protests,
They will have a national
Mini.
president.
of course they will. But like,
It should be
Wait.
for all the buzzwords we used to do. We should
As
be in
in,
the front and center of
they've
this.
never like been in the well, just stay with us, our viewers. I'm trying to get to the bottom of this.
to be fair, we have association of what do you call it, coffin makers. So there's really nothing we can have or we
Guess
can't have
what?
an association.
This particular request that they are making of NCC is probably the first thing that is putting them on the map. As far as I'm concerned.
They've been in the news before. They've they've sued the federal government over tax issues earlier this year. But I'm trying to find their website. Like, I need to know what their purpose. I need to know their purpose. Do they
Just
have?
the way it sounds now, National Association of Telecommunications.
I mean, it doesn't really tell me anything. Like,
subscribers.
what's their purpose? Why? What was the
Are they
mission?
speaking for me, for instance?
Exactly.
Exactly.
Who made them? Who made them my spokesperson? So, I mean, the only thing on the president's LinkedIn is that he's the national president. So is this another case of no, NANS, National Association of Nigerian Students?
At least
some self-serving. There's no purpose.
There's a self-proclaimed, as flawed as it might be, National Association of Nigerian Students is a thing. I understand it.
That is made up of ex-students.
I understand it, right? 40, 50-year-old people are doing National Association of Nigerian Students, but I understand the concept of an association of Nigerian students, but I don't understand the concept of an association of telecom subscribers. Think,
I mean,
an association of
consumer,
Indomie eaters. Yeah, that's how I'm talking about it.
I think we should move on.
A consumer lobby group, I guess. A consumer lobby group.
Okay, so speaking about regulations, a Nigerian startup is about to exit the Ghanaian market after the Bank of Ghana declared their service illegal. So what happened there, and who's taking this up for us? Chingozer.
Yes, thank you for that question. So LemFi.
You just sounded like a politician that want to lie on national TV.
Thank you so much for that question.
So LemFi is a fintech, Nigerian founded, because these days you don't even know which one is Nigerian, but it's basically a remittance startup that helps immigrants in UK, Canada, the US to send money back home. So they've exited or suspended their operations in Ghana, and right now users can't send money to Ghana like they used to. They didn't give a reason for the suspension of those activities, but I guess you can draw some conclusions based on what has happened. So a little over a week ago, the Bank of Ghana said about 7 companies were operating without a license in Ghana, and LemFi was one of them. So they basically want financial institutions in the country to stop doing business with them. So 1 week later, we are hearing that they are suspending activities in the country. So we've reached out to LemFi to get an official response, but so far nothing has been heard. But yeah, that's
so it's headed by Redwan.
Yeah, Olalere.
It's former OPE executive. Interesting. So I'm guessing at this point, I need to point out something that if you want to sell your vision to customers, you should also be selling your vision to regulators so that they understand what you're doing. So,
stakeholder management 101.
Stakeholder management relationship. So yeah, and we are the podcast. We have something for you. Our school is offering a 20% discount on their high impact selling course. So you can navigate not just selling to make money, but selling to even keep your business legal to regulators. So yeah, we'll come back to that. We'll give you more details towards the end of this thing, but I just wanted to point that out. Did that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
It does.
So, yeah, I don't think I have much to say about LemFi.
I don't know if it's LemFi. I think it's Ghana.
Why do you say so?
What's special about Ghana?
It's not like Ghana. I think it's the way African countries and the way regulation is chasing innovation and having to come up with licenses to fit some particular services. So I think that is the case here, and it happened with Kenya too. And there was a time, I think, license for lending platforms or lending companies. So they had to do it in phases where they start giving licenses to these lenders. So I think that's just what is going on in Ghana, and it's a phase that we pass.
So, I used to agree with this notion of innovation chasing
regulation
chasing innovation, but I've seen enough in the startup space to realize that most of the time we just want to cut corners instead of following due process. And here is it. There's something Oswald said at an event from the guy behind the Nigerian Startup Act, like the main face of the Nigerian Startup Act. He said something. He said, where you entrepreneurs are seeing disruption, the regulators are seeing displacement. It means whatever existing structure was there before, you are coming to displace it. Whoever was benefiting from that structure, you are coming to displace them. Whoever was protected by that structure, you're coming to displace them. Yeah. So if LemFi is coming to Ghana and is offering remittance services, what existing structure is LemFi displacing?
Okay.
What existing system has the Ghanaian government created to protect their citizens from cross-border remittance fraud? Is LemFi in any violation of whatever their rules are? Okay. But yes, what I'm saying is, I agree with you. Innovation always outpaces regulation, but sometimes
before they entered the market at all, they should have had those conversations.
Yeah. So just to add, two things actually. So spoke with the CEO of iInvest a few weeks back, and he mentioned something. When he wanted to set up his first company, he was coming back from the UK and there was no regulatory framework. So he had two options. You could go ahead and set up and then wait for the regulator to come after you. But he said they spent about a year speaking to regulators. And like not just him, with a few other guys, spoke to regulators, like just trying to get them to understand what they were trying to do. And in the end, the SEC passed a regulation that allowed them to start the company they wanted to start. So it took a while, of course, but they didn't have any issue of maybe a year or two after you've launched, then someone is coming after you saying, "No, you don't have any approval for this." Also, the CBN, that's Nigeria Central Bank, has also hinted, or at least the CBN governor has hinted at reviewing the regulatory framework for payment.
Payment service
and
provider.
He also made the same, made a similar argument. And he said some payment startups are operating outside the regulatory frameworks that they are supposed to be operating with. So maybe they're offering additional services that they are licensed.
They might have even seen an innovative loophole
that they are using. And they're looking at you and they're like, you shouldn't be doing this. So I think it's very, very important, especially with everything we've seen in the last 1 year, where there's more talk about corporate governance and all. You actually need someone or some people that are helping you with these conversations. I mean, today I saw something on Twitter. Someone said, with the new changes at the CBN, that's new relationship building for anybody building in fintech. So you should actually take that regulation part very seriously.
So as long as it's fintech, I can understand almost nearly other sector. But it's fintech, it's people's money.
It's very easy for you to upend the lives of 10,000 people. You may think you're small. 10,000 customers doesn't look like a lot.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you know the days of MLM, all these Ponzi schemes, I think there was this Forex one, can't remember the name, MBA Forex. The day the thing went bust, like people across at least 4 or 5 states had to go to the so-called offices they had given. Now, if you're the regulator and someone comes to you, so speaking too much, but sometimes we often forget the impact of just one small mistake.
Yeah.
So I was watching a podcast yesterday, and Kola Eno said something. He said when Tribe Agric had the issues they had in 2020, he had been promoting Tribe Agric as an investor. And he said he got the DM. The guy said, I invested my money into Tribe Agric. I wanted to use this money to relocate. And he said, what do you tell someone like this? So
his life has literally been upended.
Exactly. He has lost that money. So yes, Tribe Agric was able to finally repay. But when regulators put these so-called obstacles is to protect the customer as much as it protects you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So I don't think I have any other thing to say. Everything as little as not asking for password before I log into my. They know themselves. Those companies. Like I can just open my app and it just opens. Wow. You don't ask me for any authentication. You don't ask me for fingerprint. Nothing.
which means if your phone is stolen,
in your mind you are doing seamless.
There's even obstacles are there for a reason. And you can check out my interview with Esigie Aguele of VerifyMe about the whole issue with identity and fraud in the financial sector. So yeah, with everything, balance is important. So again, we're moving to another African country, and this time around the news is a little bit more positive, but I'm skeptical, so I'm waiting to hear what's going to happen. But the news is Kenya is about to give tax breaks to startups.
President William Ruto is always in the news, and for good reasons most times. I like the guy's PR. And this time he said the country startup bill will give tax break to startups, and it will start either next year March or April. And it's basically how it stands, tax break. I don't know how many years they would be giving tax breaks. Maybe their first 5 years or the first 2 years, maybe they will be giving tax breaks. But that is what it is being promised, and it will be in the country startup act, which means that it's enforceable. But the other African countries that have startup bills, and the issue has always been with implementation and enforcing whatever it is the bill says. So, but given Kenya's track record, since they are good on the side of implementation, at least from what the news tells us.
So mention one good PR.
Please don't tell me to.
Okay.
But yeah, but they have like a good image.
I don't know if it's a good image. Kenya strikes me as this
promising. It's like
it's not Rwanda level PR.
Yeah, it's not Rwanda level. So
like
the stories that come out, you know when you're dating someone and the person has potential, but you're not seeing any workings. That's basically what it looks like. They're always coming up with like say you don't date potential.
From experience.
What was this?
Speak, preach.
I mean, they're always in the news with one really interesting thing. If it's not visa-free entry to all Africans, it's launching of digital IDs or really cheap smartphones. And this is also a problem that I've seen with a lot of Nigerians, for who shall not be named. It's almost like we are so fixated on the idea that we are not always looking at execution. So yes, tax breaks are good. Beyond tax breaks, I'm not just going to come to your country because you gave me a tax break. It's just one.
Are they opening up this tax break to everybody that comes into the country? Number one. Number two, do they need to create a startup portal for startups to register and spend 1 year to build the website? Sorry, that is just by the way.
I think they are also doing something like that, which I think they're doing like a startup
financing. Yes, a credit scheme for startup finance is part of the promise that comes with this. The president actually mentioned it during an event, the Kenyan Innovation Week. So some of those things that just come up while the president is giving their speech, and they have this idea in their head and they just say it out or something like that. You get?
I see. Okay, no problem. I'm not going to drag this any further. I wish Kenya all the best.
Say all the best.
All the best.
In the new dispensation of tax breaks and startup financing incentives.
Yeah, it's still up until March next year or April next year. So
that's true. There's one that they are launching that digital ID at December. Okay.
So but again, do startups need to register with the Kenyan government to access this tax incentive? I don't think that is clear.
So when what's it called? Initiatives like this come up, we think of it more of we are trying to use it to attract other people from outside that country. But I think we should just look at it from the point of the startups in the countries. Probably encourage them to come up with more innovations, things that will make life easier for citizens. So we can look at it from that aspect. But yes, it is with the implementation that they will be able to attract other startups from other African nations. If not, but I think we should just focus on implementing it, executing it in that country. Let the startups in the country enjoy it first before we start thinking of other African startups.
Fair. So I'm guessing at this point, we're going to leave Africa now.
Okay.
We'll come back, don't worry. But we're going to leave Africa. Then come back to Nigeria again to address that fraud thing I talked about in the intro. But now, this story, I don't know why producer put this in the story. Why?
Because we need some interesting banter going on in the studio.
Okay, so, and I wish it was not a football person that was on this podcast with me, so that we would just glossed over this. Oh yeah,
Don't worry, I'll kill it.
You kill it, right?
I'll kill it.
Kill it, okay. So
Before you kill.
So we're hearing that Cristiano Ronaldo has been sued for his association with Binance.
Did you hear that? No.
That's been sued.
Okay, man. What is going on in this studio?
That's good. That's good.
Oh my god.
Okay.
All right.
Go on.
So what give me a synonym for sue, I beg.
He has been slapped, slammed,
Okay.
hit.
He has been slammed
Anyone.
with a court case. Or suit. Suit.
You have not even started the conversation. Please, let's move to another story.
No, please. It's a story on the podcast.
It's a story on the podcast.
So should I take that?
Okay, please tell us what happened.
Yes. So Cristiano Ronaldo, aka Desert King, has been.
Who asked you for his nickname? Who asked you for any nickname?
It's to make it easy for
Please go on.
identification. So yes, the Desert King is the subject of a lawsuit that is
The king of the UCL, you mean?
the Desert King. Sorry, is Haaland is now the UCL king. I think.
Yeah. Digressing.
Yes,
please
they are
go.
digressing,
Please
but
go
Focus.
Okay.
anyway, as we were saying before, I was rudely interrupted. He is the subject of a lawsuit that is expected to go over $1 billion. So basically, these guys want to sue you for everything is worth. This is the literal definition of suing someone for everything is worth, because Baba knew they up to $1 billion in lawsuit. But yes, they said he promoted Binance and some unregistered securities. So I think we mentioned this on the podcast last week. Binance, the Binance CEO, former CEO, he pled guilty to some money laundering charges and a few other charges that were brought against him and Binance. So Binance is paying quite a hefty fine, and he has stepped down from his position. And I guess the fallout from I guess the fallout from that is this lawsuit. So basically, 3 people are suing Ronaldo for promoting the unregistered securities on Binance to US citizens. So I think last year, he signed a deal with Binance where there were like NFTs that were created in his name. And I guess a few people bought into it. We don't even know the extent of that, but yeah, a few people bought into it. And these guys are saying, when you promoted this, there was increased visibility for Binance in the US. There was more people started searching for Binance, and a few people, they themselves they called it loss-making investments. So basically, they lost money to their investments on Binance, and Ronaldo is the guy that they are blaming for this. So this is kind of similar to what Kim Kardashian faced a while. I think that probably a year ago. I don't know, everything's feeling like last year. I know we've discussed her own case on the podcast here.
Yeah, I think I remember that.
I was
day.
on the podcast.
Yeah, you were.
Yes,
Yes.
I don't think
yes.
Emmanuel was on
So it wasn't okay. Yeah, it wasn't. It wasn't directly. We were.
The story before you got to the podcast.
No, it wasn't
No,
directly.
it's
There
an
was
ad
someone.
story, like advertisement.
Someone was
story.
someone had advertised something, and then we were discussing whether you should disclose the fact that this isn't. You're
I'm
not doing
supporting
this.
I'm just using
Yeah.
it to make money.
Exactly. So
I'm
that's
just-
part of why.
Yes, now, no. Of course, you can put disclaimer.
Yeah.
But the law actually requires you
To put disclaimers, actually.
It's a paid ad. It's even on Instagram. You're supposed to put it up that it's a paid ad.
But
Yeah.
what is the thing with personalized ad? Personalized ad allows your followers or the people that are watching you to trust you more because they believe that you've used it.
Now,
and you trusted
that's your
that,
problem.
and that's
oh.
your liability.
That's your problem because the law says once it's an ad, whether it's personalized or whether it's not personalized, tell us. Because I know you mentioned this, but all of this started getting a lot of attention around around 2020 when there were a lot of financial influencers and they were promoting a lot of either investment, savings, cryptocurrencies. They were promoting a lot of those products, and the government needed to do something to ensure that people did not make decisions because whether I like it or not, people make decisions simply. How many pots have you bought because of an influencer? It's a question now.
I don't buy pots. I've not bought pots because of an influencer.
Or you've bought pan,
No.
but you should have bought something in your house, in your kitchen.
Yes. Not because of the influencer, but because I needed it.
You should have because of influencer. Anyway,
Why
as
are
you
you
were
pushing
saying,
words into my mouth?
but you said it.
No.
Anyway, but yes, people buy things because of influencers, and the government decided, okay, let's put something that says, okay, you can promote. I'm not saying you should not promote, but always put a
your
disclaimer that this happened. So that's basically why Ronaldo is being sued
So
right now.
how many footballers get sponsored all the time
Yeah,
by big brands? You can't exactly say this is an ad per se.
Mm.
If, for instance, they just announced that, say, Pepsi just signed Osimhen, for instance, and they announce it, and Osimhen in his announcement message say, "Oh, have a drink of Pepsi anywhere you go." So would you? Of course, it was paid. Does he have to actually state it that it was paid?
I mean, for once it's financial, I know that at least in the US, you are required to state once it's
financial.
Yeah, once it's a financial product, and I think that makes a lot of sense because you know we talked about regulations earlier. So yeah,
People's money.
Now that I think about it, I don't think I've seen any financial institution sign a global financial, because Nigerian financial institutions have done it. But the global financial institutions, I don't think I've seen them sign any major athlete or musician or movie. Can you think of any of the top of your head? Please, if you think of anyone, you can tell us in the comments.
I mean, Cheaper Cash tried with Burna Boy.
Nigeria,
That's
no
Nigeria.
I'm talking of global financial services companies, JP Morgan's,
Or
the American Express, the Visa.
Visa
Visa.
So, well, I'm not. So the thing to we're in Nigeria, so we probably will not be seeing their ads. We're not at their target market, sadly.
Interesting. Okay, but I don't think it's fair to be suing Ronaldo, and I'm not saying this because I'm a Ronaldo fan. I just think objectively, it's just like objectively speaking, why should you be suing a player that did an ad? So let's say, because this thing you can translate to okay, imagine Pepsi.
This could have been any player.
Wait. Imagine Pepsi doing an ad with Messi.
Yeah.
And after I drink Pepsi, I started purging and now sue Messi because I would say it's Messi's ad that made me to go and drink Pepsi. Please, Nifemi, please, impartial observer here.
So,
whether you know there's something sometimes when we are praying, say sin of omission, sin of commission, whether you knew or you did not know.
So I think there's a part in the claims laid against Ronaldo, and they were like, he should have known. Because
no, that even if he did not know.
like he should have known.
Whether you know.
Emmanuel is asking me from my own unbiased
Exactly.
opinion. You should have
From
known
a Ronaldo
because
hater to Ronaldo.
because you know there are some because you know there are some companies, when you hear their names, you know that there are a lot of things surrounding this. I'm sorry to mention name Patricia that we are still on the matter. You know, when you see that a lot of contention around a particular brand, right, you either do your own work well or you provide disclaimers. And it seems Ronaldo was actually enjoying it.
I mean, so to be fair,
to say that.
no. To be fair, right?
Why did they even call you
This
into it?
announcement or the deal with Ronaldo was in 2022. So
There was a crypto boom last year now.
yeah. That was when everybody was buying NFT, but that was when they made this announcement, and nobody's talking about. So Binance issues began this year, so it's not even why I think this lawsuit would probably have come whether Binance was in trouble or not, because these guys are making this claim based on the fact that they lost money. So,
But a major thing they are using to support their claim now is the fact that this Binance issue happened, basically. So
yeah.
that's what is a major part of their argument.
Yeah. So they have something that kind of furthers their case. But I think whether it was 2021, 2022, Ronaldo would have still, well, provided he was involved, it would have still happened. If there was another really popular person who was involved, the person would probably just be collateral damage in this case. But then I'm curious to see whether he's actually awarded those damages, or whether the plaintiffs are awarded those damages. $1 billion, like more than that, they are looking for more than one. I don't know how much did they even invest.
Man, I know what you think. I'm say a prayer or two for Ronaldo.
Why would you say a prayer or two? How does it concern
Doesn't
you?
really care, and Binance is not bothered.
Who told you it doesn't care? This is just they don't need to issue statement. It's when they go to.
This looks like an issue they can settle out of court.
Of course, nobody is going to. Well, let me not say nobody shall, but which judge is going to give $1 billion damages to an individual? Except you maybe find Binance on top of the one that they've paid. But
sorry, are they claiming $1 billion as a group?
yeah,
Individually.
they had better be claiming it as a group.
Might get it.
No, they are just
At
three
least
people.
Less than that.
Wait, can you even award damages that what's more than what's more than my net worth? Is that possible?
Because you should be still they work. You could collect salary.
You know, net worth is not money in your hand, yeah.
It's your work.
It's whatever
in
you are worth.
assets and securities
Okay.
and whatever.
I mean, it's just last year that they gave me.
You want to send Ronaldo back to my dare, abi?
I said, he's already 38. Now you people want him to play to 50,
His Latin can do it.
which is Zlatan.
Zlatan has not got.
Zlatan that is 40.
He's getting there.
His leg is getting. Sorry, let me not find Zlatan's trouble before I jam him something. Okay, so yeah, we've gotten to the part where I was telling you about. So this thing happened sometime last week, where I got an email from someone who claimed to be Aguele Yusuf. Aguele Yusuf is the co-founder and former CEO of Techpoint Africa. And he says, hey, Emmanuel, do you have so and so amount to your mobile banking? Please confirm. Then I will make arrangement for a refund before the end of the week. And I was, first things first, Wale asked me for money. Number one. Number two, Wale asked me for money in an email.
He has a WhatsApp
He
number.
has my WhatsApp number. Number three, Wale using Outlook. So I was like, what the heck is going on here? And yeah, so VerifyMe has more details for us.
Sorry, but wait, that money they were asking you about, do you have it?
No, I didn't even have it. So let's
You
go
were
ahead.
supposed to plead the third. You cannot be casting yourself on national TV like this.
No, in case somebody sees me on the road and say, no, I don't have money.
They really believe in you.
So last week when Emmanuel showed me the email, first of all, that was the first thing I asked him. You have the money? And then I was like, why they ask you for money inside via email? That's so we just looked at it and I just looked away. And I didn't even know that Muyiwa also got same email. Precious also got the same email. I think Yinka also got the same
Yinka
email. So
too.
that's like 4 people in this organization that got an email from Adewale asking for money to fix or to sort a very
To do one or
urgent-
two.
that's what they call it. So yesterday, while I was working, then I saw another founder post a disclaimer on their WhatsApp status saying that this is not me. And then I just remember that this was something that Emmanuel showed me last week. Then interestingly, I saw another one on Twitter. Like, okay, there's something going on here. Dr. Neto Ikpeme of
Wella Health.
Wella Health. And it's looking like a trend, as it were. It's more of a trend that scammers or fraudsters are trying to impersonate CEOs to defraud their employees rather. And in a way, it's a fraud tactic. It's a fraud tactic that people that do business email compromise use, because one, the reason why you had the red flag in your head was because of the communication you have with Adewale. You've built a relationship to a point that you can assess him. Now imagine an employee that owes the employer in so much high esteem, but that doesn't have a communication
direct communication
with that employer, right? And they want to impress the employer. Just imagine them doing it, because one of the founders, the person was ready to send the money. Because that person is outside the country. The CEO was outside the country. So the employer just thought that, okay, let me ask. The person was ready to send it. So at that particular moment, if that employee didn't think I need to speak with the employer, it would have sent the money. But something else stands out for me. One of the employees that asked for the account details to send that money to was given an account detail that has the name of the CEO in it. Like, it has the first and second name of the CEO, and it's linked to he actually sent two, one OPay account and one PalmPay account. And it sends off a trigger in my head, because something similar just happened recently of a person whose contact was scammed, and through that same means, those fraudsters created an account with the name of that person, and they sent it to the person they duped, to the victim that sent the money. Because you say, oh, my friend is in distress and this is the account number bearing the person's name, I'll send it. And it triggered something in my head that, what is going on with OPay and PalmPay? What are they not doing? KYC? Are they not asking for BVNs before they allow people to open an account? Because I believe, from my years of using banking services, if you want to open an account and you put your BVN, it automatically extracts your details, and that is the detail that will become the details of that new account you are opening. So if I'm opening an account with my name, my government name is Oluwanifemi Kolawole, it should carry Oluwanifemi Kolawole. So I'm now wondering, why are people using strange numbers that do not even exist to open PalmPay and OPay account to defraud people? Yeah, so two issues there. Business email compromise, and probably the lax bank opening procedures that are now happening on digital banks. I don't know. This should be looked into, but to a large extent, it's still on employees to be careful when they see emails like that, and also employers should also find a way to educate their employees. Meanwhile, did it for us some months back in Techpoint, where we were told about how to protect our passwords and how to protect our domain, something like that. Because when it becomes one person's problem, it has become the whole organization's problem. So let's just be careful. And I think Emmanuel should talk about the digital bank part, because it's seriously, I know fraudsters pray, they impersonate, right? They do social engineering, but it's a whole new level when you can convince me that the person that I'm supposed to send, like, you are convincing me with an account number with the person's name, is a whole new level. And I think they're going to exploit it a lot, and they've started.
Yeah,
it pained me.
That was a deep.
I should calm down.
Your mic.
My mic is Okay. It's the thing paying me.
Yeah. So guys, this is you see I didn't even try to interrupt or say it's a very, very serious issue. And I think before I go on, I would say for every employer, this is not just even tech. It can happen to anybody. For corporate companies, you just mentioned people who don't have direct relationship with their CEOs.
Their bosses.
Most likely happen in a corporate setting where
The larger your organization
Yes.
is,
Exactly.
the
so, let's say one of
Yeah, it
your
gets-
supervisor or your branch manager
Till I've been successful.
asked you, you don't have his don't have his phone number,
Mm-hmm.
you only have his email address, and you didn't look at the email address closely.
The email that Abimbola got, that's the CEO of Advantage Health Africa. It was not showing Hotmail, or it just showed Abimbola Adebakin. You know the way your email will just show your name because it's customed.
Yeah.
You won't know.
So unless you now go and pay attention to like a specific loophole. So she also mentioned the case of someone else that was defrauded. I think to make it easy, you can specify, okay, your neighbor
Yeah.
was defrauded, her phone was stolen.
Yes.
The person that stole the phone impersonated her and
Mhm.
got her friend to send money.
Yes.
So that is another issue. So
That's
I guess
another issue.
at
And
this
she
point-
believed because she saw an account number that was bearing her friend's name,
yeah.
her best friend's name.
So that's a major issue. So I've already told some of my friends, if I ask you for money via chat, call me first before sending the money, so that you can be extra levels of safe. If my number is not going through for some reason,
Hold
call
on.
someone close to me
Oh, just hold on.
or hold on. Fine, because you could potentially send money to a fraudster and that will be the end of it. You're going to put a lot of debt burden on yourself and the person you thought you were sending the money to, because the person will be feeling guilty and all of that. So this is a very, very, very important message. Now, coming to the digital banks, honestly, I'm not even sure what to think about this again, but here are some things I found out while researching all these issues. There are places where they are farming NINs, farming BVNs, even though BVNs are a lot more harder. Phone numbers, registered SIMs.
Yeah.
So they are not able to open accounts. So I asked one of the executives at one of the banks you mentioned, and he dodged the question. Like, he didn't directly respond to it. He was responding to other things we're talking about, right? So it's an issue. And from what I've learned is there was actually a consensus to enforce NIN as a universal standard for tier 1 accounts. But I'm not sure all of what these banks are following that consensus.
Because seamless.
This thing. So, but I think recently, especially when Business Day and Tech About published stories about this issue, OPS seemed to have
Some
tightened.
banks
Yes.
not aligned.
Yeah, so OPS seems to have tightened this thing. Same with PAMPay. There's been a lot of PR stories. OPay, PAMPay talking about fraud, blah blah blah, to solve the whole fraud thing. I see them trying to take the narrative, but I don't think this is a narrative thing, because this
They
is
just
getting
need
out
to
of
fix
hand.
the infrastructure.
If someone, it's quite scary. Someone somewhere can be sending a message to a close relative or a loved one, and the person will have an OP account that has my full name
Yes.
on it. It's a very, very scary
The
prospect.
string number.
So yeah, that is I think that's
So
it.
let's just try to be careful out there.
Yep.
Let's be careful.
Philosophy, do you have any comments on this issue?
Why are
So-
you so quiet? That's strange.
No, it's something
I
to
mean,
think about.
we've spoken about this a lot. That I don't know what else I want to add that we've not said before.
Yeah, so just please, I think the new thing here is people are targeting employees in different companies. Your boss, that email from your boss or your supposed boss might actually be a scam. So please be very, 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 very careful. And for friends, families, and relatives, if you are chatting with someone and they send you account number, call the person to confirm. Actually, if the person is coming with the leg of, this is urgent, I need this money urgently, urgent 2K, please.
They don't ask for 2K.
No,
They
they
ask
ask for
for-
50K
For 2 digits, 3 digits.
number. So if you see that Amibola's on this, sent one palm pay, someone on pay
with the same number.
The same number with transaction limit. I think it's because of the transaction limit.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's why they are sending two. If not, they would have sent
Yeah,
you
just send only one.
only one.
Interesting.
So
So that means, yeah, don't worry.
yeah. So the other one that happened with the other lady too, OP, then another OP again because his own limit was 50K. So yeah, there are so many issues to trash out here. But yeah, I guess we've come to the end of our stories today. Much other stories. They said the Patricia hacker was caught. I don't believe that story.
No,
I'm saying it on the podcast.
Same here.
I don't believe it. They say it was a politician in which state again?
Rivers State.
River State. A politician in River State was
Because
caught.
it had to be UK State.
That's the weakest.
bad PR.
So yeah, so he was caught. Fine. Okay, so what happens to our money? I think that's the main
He
issue.
said
Exactly.
if he releases the money, at
If he
least so.
releases the money,
They play.
So their customers will get their money. So renewed hope.
so
I beg you. That's the new dope we had. Nothing renewed.
then another funny story. For some reason, hackers hacked and stole South African data, and they're asking for $3 million.
Have they met African countries?
You
Like,
really see
they are
countries to steal
farming-
data from.
Yeah, like they are literally there's this Pakistani what's it called, penetration tester that I know, and it belongs to a lot of communities. Every other week is in my DM and we are chatting and we are just banting about. I've seen another thing from Nigeria. Like they're just farming Nigerians' data. The other day, which one did he send to me? I think a data from a particular what's it called, Nigerian commission or something like that. You want to use it to blackmail African countries? They do not care as far as they are concerned. They do not care. These hackers, where they should carry their market to another place.
Even if they want to care, it's now $53 million.
And then where you carry the
money that they can use and buy car or renovate
exactly,
a house.
for their senate.
Be for real now.
How many yachts you want?
Like-
Yacht.
Oh, yachts.
I beg. Private jet. That's enough money to get you a private jet now. Maybe one or two.
All right, guys. Don't forget a link in the description. We'll be getting a special discount code Techpoint to get a 20% discount on all schools' high impact selling course. So a lot of the things you do in business and in the startup world, it's all about negotiation. It's all about selling your vision, selling. So I'm saying no matter how small you are as a startup founder, or you have a big startup with a very, very, very young, ambitious, hungry sales team, please, all schools high impact selling courses, something you need to do. So yeah, check the link in the description below.
And yes, I should mention that when the course is promising you something, then you go and look at the faculty. It should be enough to tell you that these people, they've been in the system. They're not just teaching you theoretically, they are teaching you things that they've used to get, because the sum total of how much they've closed this year is more than $10 million. Just these three facilitators, and not just in Africa, all over the world. So they're teaching you practical things, especially converting sales lead in an ethical manner. Because a lot of people are doing it
and you lie.
Yes, but I used to think salespeople lie until I met a salesperson. When I interviewed, what's her name? Of this cloud.
Weok.
Yes, Weok.
Nikki.
Yes,
Nikki
Nikki.
Pupola.
Yes, I told her that they say salespeople lie. He said no. It depends on us. So these people are going to teach you how not to lie.
The same
but
way
sell.
lawyers say they don't say lie. I beg.
It's a matter of fact.
It's a matter of fact.
So they're going to teach you how to sell without lying, and also teach you like
Very
customer psychology, and making you to be the best salesperson you can ever be. So I don't think this is even restricted to these salespeople, because sometimes you want to sell your vision, you don't know how to sell it. In your head, you have big things you don't have to tell people. So this is a course you should do, and that point I'm preaching,
Sales
right?
is
I'm
calling
preaching.
your
I'm
name.
preaching.
Sales is calling your name. Actually, you should actually take the course. Yes.
If I'm telling it to people,
you
you're
have
telling
big
it to
things in
me.
your head that you need to sell.
Practice what you preach.
So
So yes, I'll try to use the discount in the
You try.
comment section. Please use the discount because so there's early bird for the tuition, but Techpoint is giving you like an even upper edge. Use
Earlier
the-
bed.
like earlier of the earlier bed. So please use it and let's get thoughts together.
all right. So guys, yeah, don't forget to subscribe to our newsletters. Techpoint Digest, the flagship newsletter, Equity Merchants for startup founders, and of course our Pitch Friday community. No Pitch Friday in December, don't forget, right?
Yep.
Then, of course, there's the Workaholic, Modern Workplace, all the conversations. The last edition was talking about workplace languages, right?
Yes.
So I think you should check that out. And yeah, FinTech Today, curated news of all the things you need to know in the FinTech space and the financial sector, everything the CBN is up to, and la di da di da. Then, of course, are going to be having a special episodes in December.
Yes.
We're going to be bringing back nostalgia. You're going to be seeing some special faces on the podcast, hopefully, and yeah, just watch out for that.
Yes.
And but
we're
so far so
closing
good.
the year with a bang.
Yep. So guys, we appreciate you for sticking with us throughout January till November, and we're in the final lap. We're in the final lap
Spotify
of the year, and we're going to be hitting those milestones, those targets, and of course, as usual, we're pushing those your New Year resolutions in January. You push them to January 2024, and hope to do it again in 2024. Yeah, right.
No, why are you pessimistic? We will do it. Please,
Do
I'm rooting
it.
for us. Yes, we're going to do it.
All right. It's fine. It's not be fight. So, yeah, guys, thank you so much, and yeah, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and do all the things you need to do to get this podcast to more people. I see you guys saying, "Hey, this is insightful conversation. This is interesting conversation."
Those
And I see
that
some of
disagree
you.
with us, that we drag ourselves, we see.
But if you disagree, so the thing is, if you disagree and we reply, please try and reply.
Yeah,
Very important.
Very, very important.
Don't start something you cannot finish.
Why both of you sounding petty?
No, don't start something you
There's
cannot
one
finish.
person from last week. I'm still waiting for his response.
Yes, even on that one.
I
from
wasn't even in the
previous week.
podcast, but I took it personal.
You can listen to us on Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, Spotify, and everywhere else you get your podcast from.
Bolu won't be proud of that.
Yeah. It's not Bolu standard, but we'll manage it. All right, people. We'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.